So I'm here at the Norwich Boat Show, and I'm having an adventure with Flux. Now, they are a Rhode Island based company, Bristol, Rhode Island. They're doing amazing things with outboard engines. They're partnering with different platforms in terms of different boats, but their engines are amazing. And I got to go out on one, and you're going to get to see it.
Hi, I'm Alex Van Haren here at the 2025 Norwich Boat Show with Flux Marine. So Flux Marine is a Bristol, Rhode Island-based company. We produce high-performance electric outboards such as the FM 115, which is here on our Scout Dorado option. Offers a great package for day boaters looking to get out. Runs about 30 nautical miles runtime, cruising anywhere from 20 to 32 miles an hour. So a big reason why customers turn to electric propulsion, or Flux Marine specifically, is our closed-loop cooling system provided on our motors. There's no raw water getting inside this housing at all, giving you low maintenance, no oil changes to worry about, no impellers, no fuel. All you have to worry about annually is the state of charge of your batteries during winterization and the zincs on the motor itself. So with Flux Marine, we take the fuel tanks out of the boats, such as the one on the Scout boat that we're on now, replace it with 3 of our battery packs that allow you to get on the water for a full day's worth of boating. As you can see on our motor here, very easy to open up the charging port. We provide a cable that adapts to either 30 or 50 amp, even 110 if you trailer the boat home at the end of the day, allowing you easy access to charge the boat and get back out on the water quickly. A big piece of the technology that keeps us safe on the water is going to be our power distribution unit and battery management system. This is the brain of our system that regulates the power going not only to the motor itself, but to your house battery as well, allowing you to get clear and accurate readings on your Garmin display and have a safe, fun day on the water. So our power distribution unit and battery management system are what take the power from our batteries and source them to not only the motor, but your house battery and low voltage system, allowing you clear and accurate readings not only on your Garmin display, but providing you a safe and fun experience on the water. So Flux Marine makes it very easy to recharge our system. Once you're back to the dock, you can plug into any shore power that you may find at your local marina, 30 or 50 amp. It also has 110 capability for those preferring to trailer the boat back to their house. Also, if you do have a DC fast charging network, such as your Tesla network in your area, you can plug into that and charge in less than an hour. So the efficiency score that we're going to be looking at while we're underway is right here on the right side of your screen, kilowatt hours per mile, effectively the same as a miles per gallon spec that you'd be looking at on your traditional ice motor. So at trolling speeds, when we're going 6 to 8 miles an hour, you'll see this number start to creep up a little bit, but the efficient range that we want to see at these kinds of speeds, going through no wake zones, somewhere just below 1 kilowatt hour per mile. Once we get up on plane, as you just noted, you're going to see that number increase pretty significantly. Our range is going to go down at cruising speeds anywhere around that 2 kilowatt hours per mile, maybe just over that 2.2, 2.3 is what we would consider an efficient use of the throttle. Ways you can adjust that, not only your RPM setting, but the trim of the motor as well, which you can see right below that score.
So that helps with range anxiety.
Correct. Yep.
And that was you adjusting trim?
Yep.
Okay.
So this is the more detailed screen you can look at if you really want to dig into more of the data and the numbers. On the right, you're going to have your temperatures for your motor, your inverter, your coolant, your batteries. All of that is self-monitoring. So as long as they're staying within a reasonable limit of the temperatures that we've set, they're going to stay white as you see them now. If they get to a increased zone, everything will turn yellow. And then when it gets to a dangerous or an overloaded temperature, those numbers are going to turn red. And your alert system is going to let you know that one of your temperatures is high or something isn't operating the way it's supposed to, and will guide you on what to do to bring those temperatures back in the zone. On the left, you have similar stats as we had on the other page with a few additional metrics like your torque, your throttle setting, your power in kilowatts. And then right in the middle, you have a range efficiency. So a way of, without knowing maybe what the efficiency should be at different speeds, a way of getting yourself into those proper zones. Again, extending your range, extending a day on the water. So Garmin is the manufacturer that we use for our MFDs, as well as the peripherals that we offer on all of our vessels. So if you want depth sounder, VHF, anything like that, they're going to be run by Garmin. Garmin actually reached out to Flux Marine and integrated our app into their user interface, allowing you to see what you see right now seamlessly and easily. So this is the main screen that we use with a Flux motor. On the left, you're going to see your state of charge. Right now we're sitting at 99%. And below that is your estimated range in miles based on your throttle setting. So you'll see as I increase my RPMs, that range is going to start to come down. And when I bring it back, you'll see everything start to adjust itself again. On the right side of your screen, I think is one of the more critical pieces of our interface, allowing users to find the most efficient zone to cruise at, extending your range and your time on the water. The biggest metric we're going to be looking at for that is the kilowatt hours per mile. So you'll see right now we're sitting at 1 kilowatt hour per mile of power being used to propel us 5 to 6 miles an hour. This is really what we find to be the most efficient place for trolling speeds. If you're going through no wake zones, going through harbors, you want to make sure you're keeping that metric as low as possible. In addition to that, you'll have your horsepower, which you'll see when we get up on plane, reaches a peak of 175 through acceleration, then settles in at a max of 115. If we swipe over, you'll get a more detailed screen of our system. This allows you to see and monitor the temperatures of the motor, the inverter, the coolant, the battery on the right side, and then on the left, some similar metrics to the basic screen we were just looking at with increased metrics such as your power, your torque, your throttle percentage. Right in the middle, you're going to see a bar running through your range efficiency. So this is what helps our users find those most efficient spots at different speeds to make sure, once again, that you're extending your range, giving yourself the longest time on the water possible. Okay, so we are out of the no wake zone now, so about to get up on plane and see what this system can do. As we mentioned before, talked about before, our system is set up for 115 continuous horsepower with a 175 momentary boost. So once we accelerate, the horsepower is going to start operating at 175 for just a couple seconds, helping to get our hull up out of the water, and then it's going to settle in at 115, allowing us to reach a maximum speed of right around the low to mid 30s. All right, you're ready? I'm going to get going.
Yeah.
Uh-oh,
There go my Ray-Bans.
they're in the boat.
They're in the boat? Yep. Oh, thank God. So this is the point where I'm supposed to say, hey, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. All right, here's the deal. Most of you don't have a YouTube account, so you can't subscribe. I get it. So if you like green energy and you like doing positive things for the earth, like I'm trying to make content for people to think differently about how they propel their vehicles, go get a YouTube account. Then it's free. Then you can subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell. You never have to do that again once you do it. And then my videos, you can like them, you can dislike them, you can leave a positive comment, you can leave a negative comment. All feedback is good. All YouTube cares about is how much interaction do you have and how many subscribers you have. The more I have and the more interaction, the more they're going to show my video to people who aren't seeing it. So I hope you help me out. Let's get back to the video.
So you'll see now we're settling in at 115. And if I pull back on the throttle just a little and punch it again, we're gonna get another little boost.
Because it's instant torque.
Yep.
So if you're in a situation where you need to maneuver immediately, where normally you're having to wait for, the
that
throttle
pickup.
up, you
Oh,
could
yeah.
get out of a nasty situation, whether it be in a dock, a channel.
Very quickly. Absolutely.
So I know we're on the Scout right now.
The high field.
Oh, the high field. Sorry,
Yep.
my mistake. So I could take this motor and batteries and set it up on different platforms.
Correct. Yep. We do offer repowers through our operation in Bristol, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Little performance here. And in that, we do have customers coming to us asking to repower their old Boston Whalers. Get a lot of questions about Grady White, Chris Crafts, all different kinds of hulls. And we do offer opportunities to look into what it would take to remove the fuel tank, remove their traditional motor, and install a Flux system. It's not always possible with this particular motor, but for the right size vessel, absolutely.
Now, do you have any inboard, outboard?
We do not. Not yet. That technology will come. We will get to that place. Right now, Flux Marine's only offering the 115 horsepower outboard.
And what's, everything being great, perfect conditions, what's the maximum hull speed?
Maximum hull speed is going to be significantly more. Highfield does offer this particular model with a 200 horsepower outboard on it. So they're reaching somewhere around the high 40s, low 50s.
And how fast have you been able to get it speed over ground?
I can get this 35 on the
35
right day.
knots?
35 miles an hour. Yep.
So those who are hesitant about an electric boat, you're getting up to 35 miles an hour. That's a pretty decent speed.
That's pretty fast. And as you can see, we're having a conversation right now at those speeds, now slowing down a little without
not
having
yelling.
to yell, without having to have trouble hearing or anything like that.
And with this particular setup, if you were going full speed, what's your distance like? If you're stupid and don't pay attention to your power.
If I'm pinning it out, it's going to allow me to do that until we get down to 10% state of charge. By that time, probably have covered about 26, 27 miles. Once you get below 10% state of charge, the battery monitoring system automatically limits the power being sent to the motor, restricting your RPMs and your speed, allowing you increased range to get back to the dock. So I'd probably be able to troll for another 6 to 8 miles at that point, allowing you to get back to wherever you need to go safely.
And if I was being intelligent, I was following guidelines, not really pinning it, but still getting,
Sure.
up on plane.
Yep. I've experienced in a day's worth of boating, I think the farthest I've gone personally is just over 35 miles, and that's coming back to the dock with over 30% state of
So
charge.
30 miles round trip, or 30 miles each way.
Round trip.
Okay, so
Back to the
15
dock.
miles out, 15 miles back.
Yeah, a little bit more than that. Again, it was like 35 miles.
Yeah.
But again, coming with 30% state of charge left, so I still had plenty of juice to stay out there on the water.
That's great. It's such a quiet platform.
Beautiful day. Chris, I've got great news.
Oh, you are the man.
I saw it take a bounce, and I'm like, I think they're right back there.
You're a god. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that.
That would have been a bummer.
I just can't believe how quiet. We're not hearing the put, 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 put.
No exhaust, no clutch when you're shifting through the gears. You'll see when you get back to the dock, it's a very smooth and easy transition between forward, neutral, and reverse.
How do you keep it cool?
So the coolant in the motor, it's a closed-loop cooling system. The coolant is circulated through what we call the AVP, anti-ventilation plate, which sits right above the propeller. Coolant is circulated through little channels in that AVP, dissipating heat via the water, and then circulates back up through the motor, the charger inverter, and the head unit, pulling that heat away.
So you don't have a impeller that always gets destroyed and, messes
Correct.
up your entire trip because something got in there.
Correct. Very few moving parts in the system, which is another highlight of the Flux system. And to be fair, most electric systems, very few moving parts, so little to no maintenance. For our customers, what we found to this point is that annually you're having to replace your zincs, monitor the state of charge through the winter, keeping that right around 50%. Otherwise, constant uptime, staying out on the water.
I wonder if he had an electric motor.
He does.
He does?
Yep.
On my O-Day 28, I had a diesel, and when trying to not, when you can't sail in,
Right.
it was just like, it's like
A lot of vibration.
oh, the vibration.
Plus, in those boats, like in a day 28, adds a lot of weight. You could throw something like what you're seeing right now on that sailboat, little electric motor with a small battery, allows you to get to and from the dock, from your mooring, without having to have that additional weight, a fuel tank and a big heavy diesel inboard. Cruising into harbors like this on these boats is my favorite part. So calm, so quiet. All you hear is the wind and the white water. Little prop wash behind you.
Yeah, the prop wash is the only sound you
Yeah.
hear. Now, if you can get that to quiet down. So, does this throw much of a wake?
Not this boat particularly. Our Scout packages in the Dorado throws a little bit more of a wake. It's a much better boat for tubing or for wakeboarding. If that's what you're looking to do on a lake or coastal area where you cruise. Between the trim tabs and just low throttle usage, you can throw a pretty big wake with that boat.
So, just ballpark. If I had my own high field or my own platform, just, spitting numbers out there, what's the general, idea of cost of entry?
So if you were to look to repower one of your boats with a standard setup from Flux Marine, that's going to include 3 of our battery packs, the PDU or power distribution unit, as well as the motor. That cost is going to be at $55,000. Your total cost all in is going to be somewhere right around $60,000 for the labor to take out the fuel tank, put in our system, have it safely inspected, trialed, and then returned to you for use.
And when you take out the fuel tank and all the other elements of it, you're like cleaning the whole bilge area. That's
Everything's
all
getting
cleaned
wiped
out.
out. Yep.
So it's a nice clean install that you have.
Clean and safe. Safe is our priority. Definitely want to make sure that those batteries are in the right place, allowing you an efficient ride for your hull through the water, good balance to the boat, so that when you get it back, it feels just like it did before, only quieter and cleaner.
Another question I have is, a lot of folks suffer from the horrible nightmare of a seacock failing, and the boat gets wet.
Sure.
The engines get wet, and they're, out of commission. What happens if your system gets, a foot and a half, 2 feet of water in it, over it?
Sure. So our batteries are set up just a little bit in the bilge, for one. They've gone through rigorous testing and have received multiple certifications proving their safety in these conditions. They're also IP67 rated, so they are technically submersible, though I wouldn't recommend it. But they can have water in and around them. Even when you look at the charging port on the motor itself, everything there is also IP67 rated. So if you're charging on the dock and you get a good rain in, there's no concern, no worry about water getting into the system based on the setup that we have.
Awesome. Because that's one of the things a lot of people complain about, or they have, other than range problems, the lithium batteries blowing up and
Sure.
catching fire and thermal runaway.
Yeah. So our company, Flux Marine, has been around for over 10 years at this point. Most of that time was spent engineering, R&D, going through multiple iterations and generations of our system before we got to a point where we felt confident in going to market, not only providing a practical experience on the water as far as the range and the performance is concerned, but also from a safety perspective. Again, safety is paramount when you're going out in the water, getting in these conditions. So making sure that our system is safe and ready to operate.
Awesome.
I can't tell you how much fun it was talking to Alex at Flux. Flux is an amazing company doing amazing things. This is not a sponsored video, but it certainly was fun. And I will be doing more video with them on one of their boats, checking out their electric propulsion. But for now, that's the end of this adventure, and I'll see you in the next one.